return to. Republicans, if you're upset about this and you really want the Trump tariffs and you're in Congress, you have no excuse. You can just do it yourself. Republicans control Congress. Democrats are going to stand in the way. They're going to filibuster. They're going to do whatever. Fine, let them. And then you say, see, we're trying to implement our agenda. Democrats are thwarting us. That's why you need to elect even more Republicans. That's how it works. Things done just by, the signing of a pen can be undone just as easily. So, for all the MAGA world people who are steamed about this, we'll just do it the right way, and then you won't have any problems. Now, I think the tariffs are not a good idea. I was actually really annoyed with that reporter for asking that question because...
What? You don't like taco? Trump always chickens out? She didn't make it up. She's quoting.
So then he's going to do them even harder. Don't say that. Here's how I would say it.
He makes a name up for everybody.
Mr. President, in your wisdom, everyone is talking about how smart you were to bring down those tariff rates and how beautiful you are internally, and the economy is so beautiful. So why are you so smart for not doing tariffs anymore? That's the way you got to do it.
A journalist's job is
everyone's
not
laughing
to
at you and
cozy up to the president and schmooze him and make no. This is a taco. You literally back down against China. China has. It's really funny. China has decided that they're actually not going to cower in any way. They actually have said they don't know what meetings Trump is referring to when they said they had conversations on the table. The first time I think they spoke to Trump's team is in Switzerland, I believe, at some conference. And so they are not on the same page. And so China, they're the biggest, supposed to be bearing the biggest brunt of this, are actually don't feel like they are. They're just going to go to other countries and trade with them if we can't get it together. And so I think, also people need to know that some of the taxes and the tariffs that Trump imposed on steel and aluminum are still in place because they're under an entirely different ruling. And so that is still going to affect people. So not only will he not get his way with getting other countries, 18 of them, to kind of bend to his will based on using an iron fist, we also are going to see higher prices on things that we buy every day that have aluminum, steel, and other major, cars, everything. So we're still going to see those tariffs go up. And he also didn't get what he wants. So here we are just relying on the big, beautiful bill to solve something, because right now he's almost 6 months in and we don't have any real legislation that we can, I guess, lay our hat on.
We don't have any legislation of any kind because Congress refuses to legislate.
But Congress is all Republican, so what's the issue?
Right. The issue is, a couple issues. When it comes to tariff, the issue is, and depending on how you feel about this, again, I'm not for the tariffs. A lot of people in the MAGA faction are. The truth is that the average Republican congressman, in his heart of hearts, does not want the tariffs and does not think they're good policy.
Exactly.
But only a select few, my guys, Rand Paul and Thomas Massie and others, are willing to say that it's bad policy, it's effectively a tax increase, it will hurt small business owners, we shouldn't do them, it's Marxist far-left policy, let's not do them. Every other Republican is afraid, agrees with, not every single one, but most of them.
Use the right word.
Right, they think that, but they're afraid to say so. So they're glad, they're going to be like, oh, activist judges are thwarting our sweet, wonderful president. They're actually glad about it because they don't want it to be their job to thwart the Trump agenda. They know they'll have to do the Trump agenda if it push comes to shove, but they don't want to do this part of the agenda because they don't think it's good policy.
That's a terrible state that we're in, that people can't actually stand up for the things that they ran on, that their constituents believe that they would follow through on. Tariffs are not generally on the Republican agenda as a huge issue. And so
historically, it's been a Democratic policy, more associated with
which is why I'm confused that these people don't care more about their constituents than they do about appeasing President Trump, who can't even run again.
The coalitions are shifting, right? Labor and blue-collar workers historically were a part of the Democratic Party. Now they are more becoming a part of the Republican Party, so that's changing the economic priorities of the two parties, right? The parties are reforming before our eyes, where the Democratic Party...
I don't agree. I think that they're just blindly allegiant to President Trump, and so now they're trying to figure out how to scale back, but being cowardly by not saying anything, so just allowing it all to fall on people like Rand Paul, like you said. I don't think that after Trump leaves, that a traditional or some conservative that falls in lines more within the realm of what we've seen over the last decades if they get back in office, people will fall in line to what makes more sense for fiscal conservatives and other things. That's been the biggest issue.
It depends who Trump's replaced with. If the next leader of the Republican Party is a more traditional Republican, then yeah, they'll all be anti-tariff again. They're still anti-tariff. They will proclaim anti-tariff policy. If it's J.D. Vance, though, who is the likely successor to Trump, he's more ideologically pro-tariff even than Donald Trump is. So I don't expect the party to snap back if that's the case. Next up, Secretary of State Marco Rubio says that he's revoking the visas of Chinese students. We will discuss that. Stay with us.